Hello guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to sit down and talk about how to lose weight effectively and also keep it off. As a personal trainer, I still feel as if there's this huge stigma around carbs are bad, and I still have some of my clients coming to me saying, oh, I thought I couldn't have carbohydrates. So I know you probably hear it a lot still, but I just want to break down how you can reach your goals, keep the weight off, and also still feel good and not feel completely deprived. So I wrote down some things here that I wanted to go over specifically. Hopefully I can break it down for you so that you'll understand. But the first thing I want to go over is when you're ready to start, know your current weight and know how much you want to lose. So gotta set your goals, short-term and long-term. The next thing you want to do is calculate how many weeks you have until your set event, your goal, your show, etc., and how much weight you need to lose per week in order to reach that weight. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that losing weight is not linear by any means. So you will have weeks, especially as a woman, where you're going to fluctuate. You might go up a little bit, sometimes even 2 to 3 pounds. Your period can really do that. And there might be weeks where you'll have a 5-pound drop. So just always keep in mind when you're dieting that it is not a linear process and you're not going to specifically lose said amount of weight per week. But as long as your overall is good and you're keeping track of that, you'll be fine. The third thing I want to go over is calculate your calories and macros after you track for 1 week. So I always recommend my clients to at least give me a week worth of eating. I say don't change anything, just eat normally. This can help gauge your maintenance calories, and then you could just pull from the maintenance calories. You can also use a calorie calculator. The best one that I recommend is the one on prophysique.com. Paul Revelia actually has a really good calculator. It's pretty accurate. You do generally have to, kind of gauge your body fat percentage, the amount of protein that you want to take in. So you do have to make that a priority, particularly when cutting, if you want to keep your lean mass or as much of it as you possibly can. Another thing to always note is that you will sacrifice a little bit of muscle when you're losing weight, but just remember that the harder you're lifting and the more protein you're taking in, the more you're going to retain that muscle. You want your protein to be at least 1 gram per pound of body weight, or your lean mass if you weigh a bit more. So just something to keep in mind, that keeping your protein intake up is going to help retain that mass and also keep you more satiated. The next thing I want to go over, and probably the most important thing, is consistency. So while you're going through this process of losing weight, right, you need to stay consistent. So I'm going to be honest with you, this is even something I struggle with when I'm doing my own dieting plan. A few fluctuations, like 50 calories up or down, isn't going to make or break you generally, unless the one stipulation to that is if you're prepping for a show or a contest. You do have to be perfect. There's really no way around that. But the discipline aspect is so important. You need to have that consistency so that you know where to pull from, if you need to pull back your calories, add your calories, obviously, so you don't gain more weight instead of lose, or gain weight / maintain and not lose. So just keep in mind the consistency aspects and wait at least 2 weeks with proper consistency before you decide to lower your calories or up your cardio. Give it time. You might not see those results the first week, but by the second week, usually things kind of start to kick in. So just be on top of making sure that you're tracking your weigh-in. So you want to weigh in weekly. Daily is preferred, but I always give my clients either option. You can weigh in daily if you feel like that won't mentally mess with your head. Some people it does. Or you can do weekly. Daily weigh-ins will give you a more accurate reading though. So that's something to keep in mind. When I do cut, I prefer daily weigh-ins, and that's something that I'm comfortable with. But always put your mental health first in that regard, because sometimes for certain people, you wake up, you step on that scale, you're 2 pounds up because maybe your water fluctuated and you just crash your whole day, right? You don't want that mentality. Overall plan for this diet, right? It should look like calories, 2,000 calories, protein, 1 pound of protein per body weight, carbs, anywhere between 30 to 40% of your caloric intake, and fat, anywhere between 15 to 25%. Fat and carbs can always be interchanged though. So let's say, one day you feel like you're craving more fats than carbs, up your fats a little bit, exchange it for your carbs. But just remember that there are 4 grams in 1 gram of carb. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Oh my gosh. There's 4 calories per 1 gram of carbohydrates, and there's 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. So just keep that in mind to make sure that you're still hitting your caloric goal if you decide to interchange those. So last thing I want to go over is, or I guess hone in on, is tracking consistently. Take photos weekly, have a set time and day you do that. And like I said, find some efficient way to track your weigh-ins. So basically, I feel, to sum this up, the best thing to lose weight and keep it off is simple consistency and discipline. And I know many people do not want to hear that, but you'd be surprised once you start forming these habits, even when you're dieting, and you realize that you can lose weight and not have to completely deprive yourself of the things you enjoy. It sticks with you. And, from that said weight loss, you carry those habits when you're into your maintenance phases. You carry those habits when you're into your gaining phases. So, it's just something to keep in mind, and something that I try to drill in is to form the habits and stay disciplined, because, motivation can only take you so far. You gotta have the discipline aspect in order to reach your goals. I never water it down for my clients. I give it to them straight. It's gonna be you having to stay consistent. It's going to be you having to listen to what I tell you and hone in, find your inner motivation, inner voice, whatever you need, and just do what you have to do to reach those goals. So yeah, I'm cut and dry, that's just how I do it. But if you truly want to lose the weight and keep it off, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and form habits. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you, and I hope this helps. Bye.